end of the world.
Prepare for what?
Oblivion.
Wrath of the Titans. Experience it in IMAX 3D March 30th.
Oh yeah, you know it's a bad weekend for movies where there's no intro and I barely clean the lens here, but these movies don't really deserve a proper episode of this show. Welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the two films that make up March 30th, 2012, and as I said, this is one of those weeks where all the movies we're going to take a look at, both of the movies we're going to look at, are pretty fucking awful. And let's start off with the first one here, Wrath of the Titans, the sequel to the 2010 remake that nobody really took a lot from, except the fact that it was the first big 3D release after one of the first big 3D releases after Avatar became the success that it was, and it was Warner Brothers saying, "We gotta make a sequel quickly. Who cares if it's entertaining? It's gotta be in 3D. It's gonna look like garbage, but people will come and see it." That's what they thought. No, they did not. Wrath of the Titans takes place a decade after the events of Clash of the Titans, as the gods lose control of the imprisoned Titans thanks to humanity's lack of prayers, which also is draining their immortality, and Perseus is called, this time to rescue his father Zeus, overthrowing the Titans and saving mankind. Sam Worthington is back, as is Ralph Fiennes and Liam Neeson, but did they really need to come back for this? Really? Who was asking for this movie? The first film was not a good movie. I mean, not a lot of people enjoyed it. I actually really hated that movie, and yeah, this movie, they somehow made it even worse. This is the literal definition of a movie that only got made because the first movie was such a success, so they put together a cheap-looking sequel and tried to make it seem like it's supposed to be bigger and more epic, when no, it's not. They make it worse for the story that makes no sense whatsoever. Unnecessarily high-budget special effects that look absolutely terrible, and directed by schlock filmmaker himself, Jonathan Liebesman. You know, the guy that gave us the masterpiece that was Battle Los Angeles, and also Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Like, the problem with him is that he rips off every single action movie ever made, and he does nothing new to be original with his ideas. And there's nothing original in this movie. There's nothing about this film that's worthy. There's nothing about this film that's great. It's just a terrible movie. It's a shitty sequel to a shitty remake that nobody was asking for, and yet somehow they made this movie, and they were going to make another one, but luckily they were smart enough to look at the box office and realize that, yeah, people aren't coming to this shit anymore, so yeah. And as bad as that movie is, it's Citizen Kane compared to our next movie. And by the way, you know, this year we had Snow White, Disney's live-action Snow White, which people continuously shit upon as one of the worst movies of the year, one of the worst Disney adaptations of all time. That is incorrect, because if you really want to see the worst Snow White movie ever made, let me present to you Exhibit A.
One of the most beloved stories of all time. Who are you?
Snow White. It's Snow White.
Snow White. Is coming to life in the motion picture event of the year.
Do you want to hear it?
This spring, in an enchanted kingdom where anything is possible.
I will not fight a bunch of dwarfs. You're minuscule.
Something funny is going on. Mirror, Mirror, rated PG, in theaters March 30th.
Yeah, I never want to hear anybody say the 2025 Snow White movie is the worst Snow White movie ever, because this is still the worst one ever. And a last big fuck you from Tarsem Singh, a director that I have not been a big fan of, and sure enough, he ends his lackluster career on a high note here. Well, technically he made another movie, but after this, nobody really cared about it anymore because he kept making schlocky bad movies like this. So yeah, it's Snow White. It's basically the same story of Snow White. You have a princess named Snow White, played by Lily Collins, who, truth be told, is the best thing about the movie, as is Julia Roberts, who plays the wicked stepmother in here, who uses the help of a band of 7 dwarfs as well as a prince played by Armie Hammer to reclaim her throne from the wicked stepmother, Queen Clementina. And yeah, the casting overall is fine in here. It's just everything else about this movie that's just terrible. I mean, this is a movie that has a plot that makes no sense whatsoever. It's one of the most annoying movies you will ever see, and one of the reasons why it was because its plot was so poorly done. Like, it's not that hard to take the story of Snow White and do something new with it. We're going to get to another Snow White movie later in the year with Snow White and the Huntsman, which was the far superior movie, the one that came out that year. I mean, that one actually took chances. It actually was fun. It actually was action-packed. It actually was very well done. This is terrible. This is absolute garbage. And I'll give points to the actors in here. They're doing the best they can with the material given to them, but unfortunately, it's not great material at all. And the biggest problem with the movie is that half the dialogue is nothing but lame jokes and puns. It's supposed to be a family comedy, but even the worst family comedies have better jokes than this detestable mess of a movie does. And again, Tarsem is just a bad director, man. He's a pretentious director. He's a director that makes one bad movie after another. The best thing he made was The Fall. And that's the movie that nobody went to go see. This is the guy that did The Cell, which was a pretentious piece of garbage, Immortals, which was a knockoff of 300, and this movie, which is a knockoff of a bad Disney live-action adaptation. The Disney live-action adaptations are like Citizen Kane compared to this pile of garbage. This movie is awful. This is a terrible, terrible movie. One of the year's worst movies, and sure enough, you know, this and Wrath of the Titans actually made my worst of the year list for 2012. So, hey, what a great weekend for two of the worst films of the year to come out. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. We'll head into April next time around with a slightly better show. Not by that much, because the American Pie gang is getting back together for their high school reunion in American Reunion. The bad news is it's not being directed by the same people who made the American Pie trilogy, so that's already a strike against it, but we'll talk more about that one, and we'll also delve briefly into the 2012 re-release of Titanic to celebrate its 25th anniversary in 3D. So yeah, only two movies to take a look at next time around, but it'll definitely be a much better show than what we had this week, no question about it, but that'll be for tomorrow. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do me the honor of going ahead and hitting that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button. And also don't forget to check out our playlist. And don't forget to check out the last episode we did. And stay tuned for Time About the Movies flashback coming up later on tonight, as I've got the last weekend of December 1986 and the first weekend of November 1986 on one show. So be on the lookout for that coming up later on tonight. But in the meantime, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.